Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you an example of calculating the current through a resistor. We're going to find the current going through the 4 ohm resistor shown in the circuit below. To find this value, we'll first need to solve for I1 and I2. We'll start by writing a mesh equation for the current labeled I1. We can see that I1 goes through the power source of 13 volts, then it goes across the 8 ohm resistor and down the 4 ohm resistor. Our mesh equation is 13 plus 8 times I1 plus 4 times I1 minus I2, which is equal to 0. Next, we'll write a mesh equation for the current labeled I2. We can see this goes through the 4 ohm resistor, then the 22 ohm resistor, and through the 14 volt power source. Our equation is 4 times I2 minus I1 plus 22 times I2 minus 14, which is equal to 0. Now that we have our equations, we can solve for I1 and I2. We're going to do that with technology. I'm going to use Symbolab. In Symbolab, I went to the calculator that says Algebra Calculator. And notice I'm using the solver, not the regular calculator. I want Symbolab to do the heavy lifting of solving the system of equations. I've tried using the variable I in Symbolab, but it gets confused between the complex number I and I being a variable. So when I put in my two equations, I'm going to use x1 and x2 instead of I1 and I2. I'll put in 13 plus 8, and remember I'm going to put in x1 instead of I1. I use the underscore or underline to go down to the subscript, and then I'm going to click over with my arrow to get out. Now I'm going to type plus 4 parenthesis x underscore 1, click over, minus x underscore 2, and we'll say that's equal to 0, put a comma so I can put in my next equation. I have 4. This time it's x underscore 2, click over, minus x underscore 1, click out of the parentheses, plus 22x2 minus 14 equals 0. Now I have my two solutions of negative 141 over 148 and 29 over 74. I can go to the top and put in negative 141 over 148, which gives me a decimal of negative 0.95. Then 29 over 74 gives me a decimal of 0.39. Now that we have our values for I1 and I2, we can answer the original question, which was finding the current through the 4 ohm resistor. In this resistor, notice that we go through I1 and I2, so we need to set up our equation as I1 minus I2, which is negative 0.95 minus 0.39, which gives us a total of negative 1.34 amps.